Hi, welcome to Homework Aids for Parents of Middle Schoolers. I'm excited to share what I learned from my tutoring and teaching experience. It begins with the parents. Confident parents breed confident kids, and that's why I want to help you be confident in what you do. I also want to reassure you that when you're not sure what to do, know that God will provide a way. When it came to my kids, there were times I doubted myself. I always thought I had to do more, even though I didn't know what to do. I was unsure of myself and unsure of them. The only thing I knew was God's promises for my children. That is where my confidence lies. When I realized what I realized was that whatever I conveyed to my children, that is what they believed as well. As I worked with other kids, I found the same to be true of them. I quickly realized that the only way to help a child value themselves is to help the parent to find value too. The one thing that gives people value is what they are capable of doing. The good news is that both you and your child are more than capable if you understand and believe these two things. One, your child was created with an amazing and capable mind to accomplish a unique purpose, as were you. And two, your child was given specifically to you because whatever you have is exactly what your child needs. Let's begin with the basics. The brain is a powerful instrument. Without the right motivation, a child will take the easiest route to learning. Accomplishment is the best motivation for any child. If they can see that they can do it, they will work at it. The key to winning your child over is to help them gain quick wins and reward them for it. God calls learning building precept upon precept, like building a brick wall, layer upon layer. If a child misses school or gets behind, they have gaps in their education, like mixing bricks in a wall. As busy parents, we don't recognize the gaps until they start having problems. Clues to missing gaps. If you are keyed into what to look for, your child will give you clues as to where the gaps are. Do they count with their fingers? Do they use a calculator for the simplest problem? Do they skip through words as they read? Do they summarize what they read with random quotes from the book? Does their writing express what they really are trying to say? It's fundamental. The mind works like a computer. If an error occurs, it stops additional downloads from occurring. Once the error is fixed, the downloads that were on hold are now able to operate correctly until the next error or gap in learning. This means that once the gap is filled, a child can quickly accelerate like the brick in a wall. The wall is still intact. Homework aids provide easy tools to learn fundamental concepts with 5-minute exercises you can use every day. These provide quick wins for your child to fill the gaps. The road to confidence. Give them quick wins. When a child is able to see what he can do on his own, he will do it again. Repeat the process. Consistency in small 5-minute sessions begin to fill the gaps. Learn as they go. The advantage as a parent is you can teach your child throughout the day, applying the tools with every resource around you. Confidence breeds confidence. As you see your child responding positively, you both benefit. Knowing where to start. Let's begin. In order to help your child, you need to know where to start. Remember and remind your child it is gaps in their learning, not holes in their brain. They are fearfully and wonderfully made. Find out what they know. To find the gaps, start them out with the addition quiz. It's a simple exercise. Have fun. Challenge them to finish in 2 minutes or less. Easy tasks build their confidence too. See if they take more time than necessary completing it. I have seen many middle school children counting with their fingers. Remember, this is for you to observe, not to grade their performance. Be positive. The habit of using fingers to count is not a major problem, but it does slow the process of mental calculation. A child needs to be confident and fluent to advance to higher math. This is not just a correction in habit, but a mental exercise as well. As you see on the side, I have some numbers there. When a child is adding with their fingers, it slows down as they're 8 and 9 when they start counting one by one to 17 and then adding 3 and 1. They're like, a few minutes into the problem. When if they were to have, once they do these exercises, they will equate numbers and put them together so that they can compute quickly. For this example, we'll show that 9 and 1 is 10, and 8 and 2 is 10. And you have one left over with the 8 and 2. So you have 10, 21. And so that's an easy computation. And so when they carry it over to the next column, they're not bogged down again with starting with their fingers again. They can easily do the same thing, go through the same process. Now you might say, well, what about just using a calculator? What's the problem with that? It's the same as with the computer. If you use a computer, you can work on it all in different ways. But if you let it set by itself, it shuts down. Now that's the same thing with the child. If the child is not using their brain, they shut down, and it doesn't give them an opportunity to learn and to develop skills that are going to help them later. So let's begin with the brain. The brain can easily remember in threes. We start with simple addition. The first row is eliminated since these should be automatic calculations for your child. 9 plus 1 is 10, and anything plus the 1 is the next number up. So the child knows this, and then also 5 plus 5, 4 plus 4, 3 plus 3. These are easy calculations for the child. So let's go on to the second row. The second row is where they might want to use their fingers. So we begin to eliminate finger counting for good by begin with the first set of equations for 10. Have them memorize all three. 8 plus 2, 7 plus 3, 6 plus 4. Get them familiar with associating the two numbers together to equal 10. 8 plus 2 is 10, 7 plus 3 is 10, 6 plus 4 is 10. As they remember those, they will begin to connect the number 10 with every time they see those sets of numbers. They should be able to memorize these three within 1 to 2 minutes. The next set of three equal 9. 7 plus 2, 6 plus 3, 5 plus 4. Again, get them familiar with associating the two numbers together to equal 9. They should be able to give you the answer immediately. Now call out the equations randomly for both 9 and 10 and see if they remember. 8 plus 2 is 10. 6 plus 3 is 9. 7 plus 3 is 10. Continue with the next set and so on. As you see, the numbers, there's not as many to memorize. So it'll get easier as they continue. Do it at their own pace. If they are embarrassed, bribe them. Reassure them they are intelligent and very capable and can eliminate finger counting with 5 minutes. This begins the thinking process in associating certain numbers with their sums. 7 plus 2, 6 plus 4, 3 plus 2. They will be able to bring those up quickly. Continue until it becomes automatic for them. The brain exercise. The third row is not to memorize, but to mentally calculate that the reverse is true. The brain can assess quickly with little explanation. Connect the reverse equivalents by associating what was just memorized with its reverse. 8 plus 2 equals 2 plus 8 equals 10. Next, have them finish another equation. 7 plus 3 equals, etc., and so on. It will click in their mind so they don't think but remember. Lastly, use the addition quiz again and see how quickly they finish. You will see the difference immediately when they use mental calculations. Reward your child for their accomplishments. Remember, the objective is to build their confidence and remind them that they're just filling in the gaps. Excuse me. Eliminating finger counting is monumental for your preteen. Important to recognizing the reverse equivalence is crucial to exercising the brain. In recognizing the similarities and reverse equivalence, they can do the same with subtraction and division. As they progress to working with fractions, your child's mind can absorb the concepts of converting numbers better. Multiplication is the next step in development. The learning process continues as the mind begins to retain more. As a child memorizes, he begins to understand how numbers work together at an advanced pace. Remember multiplication tables? Linear models like this do not help a child to memorize quickly and effectively. Remember, we want quick wins for your child to be motivated to learn more. Learning ways to master memorization quickly not only helps a child progress, but also helps them to manipulate numbers in advanced learning. This is how God created our minds to work, precept upon precept, one builds on the other. We begin with the basics and multiples of up to 9. You might have to help your child make the connection. The first set is a multiple of 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2, etc. With each consecutive set, the number identifies what multiple you are working with. The first number, identifies what multiple you're working with. If the first number is 2, these are the multiples of 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6, etc. The 3 columns below are broken up for you to help your child get familiar with the thinking process. The table on the left represents the implied number to be multiplied with each multiple. Your child will understand this as they learn. The table on the right will be separated into sets of 3 to begin the mental process of memorization. Let me demonstrate. Now that your child understands how the boxes interrelate, now comes the simple memorization of numbers. The children is identifying with the order of the numbers strictly at face value, 3, 6, 9. Repeat them, 3, 6, 9. Erase them and have the child write or repeat them by memory, 3, 6, 9. It will take a minute to remember the sequence. Next, you want to relate that order with the multiples by removing the numbers from the boxes and asking, what is 3 times 1, 3 times 2, and 3 times 3? When they remember the order, they also know what it represents without having to think about it. They will make the connection in the back of their mind. Before they advance to the next row, make sure they can give the answer to the multiples when randomly asked. 3 times 3 equals 9. 3 times 1 equals 3. 3 times 2 equals 6. They will begin to mentally process that by looking at the boxes and correlating them to the equation. Your child has not only memorized, but has actively associated the boxes with the answers to help them retain the lesson. Remember, first make sure they are confident with the multiplication of numbers in the first row before moving to the next. As you progress to the second line, 12, 15, 18, have the child again memorize the numbers, 12, 15, 18. Repeat the numbers, 12, 15, 18. Erase and repeat, 12, 15, 18. Ask for the answer to the multiples after they are confident with the sequence of the numbers. First in order twice, and then randomly twice. So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. Ask them again, let them answer. Then randomly, 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. When they are confident of their answers, ask randomly the multiples for both the first and second lines. If your child struggled with this before, you will begin to see their confidence grow as they give you the answers easily. By now, your child is feeling a sense of accomplishment. Repeat the process. Have your child memorize row 3, 21, 24, 27. Repeat 21, 24, 27. Erase the numbers and ask for the numbers to the answers to the multiples. First in order, then randomly. 3 times 7, 3 times 8, 3 times 9. Then 3 times 8, 3 times 9, 3 times 7. Make sure to repeat it and asking them and make sure they're giving you the right answers. And as they do it, they'll begin to be more and more confident. They have just learned all the multiples of 3. Now ask for the answers to the multiples randomly until they can give all 9. So as you ask them 3 times 5, they will relate it to the box, the right box. What's next? Have them take the multiplication quiz once they master it all. Easy wins motivate a child naturally. Reward, reward, reward. It is important that your child is very confident in the basics. Basic math is learning to manipulate numbers to understand them. Learning reverse calculations can be applied to subtraction and division. Algebra manipulates addition and multiplication in fractions, and so on. What about spelling? Teach them how to make words come alive as they read and stimulate their minds to write too. Take your child to the next level in mastering the basics. Homework aids will help your child advance in all subjects. Now you can go for more, you can go to the link that I have here. Or now remember, you still have to get them to take the quiz again to just so that they can see for themselves how much they learned with all that they have just learned now. And once you go through all those sheets, you will be confident as well.